Hi, Marin.
Hello, Salma.
Today we are talking about the third conditional.
Good luck.
Yeah. Is it going to be difficult?
Not difficult, but we will go slowly.
Yeah,
Okay?
very slowly.
Very slowly. Okay, it's no problem. It is not difficult, a little tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
I think.
a little tricky.
But, okay, so when do we use the first conditional?
Good question. So we use the third conditional when we are imagining. It's a conditional when we imagine. So it's hypothetical in French.
Yeah, hypothétique.
Yeah. Okay, so we're just imagining an impossible or unlikely reality.
Okay. But how do we construct the third conditional?
Okay, this is where it becomes a little more tricky. Okay, so we have the if, a conditional must have if. Okay.
Yeah.
So we could say, for example, if I had.
Yeah.
Okay, so we use the past perfect. So for example, if I had worked harder at school. Okay, that's an example. It's in the past perfect. And then I go on and I use would or could.
Would or could.
Okay, so let me give you an example. If I had worked harder at school, I would be a millionaire today.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure either. But like I say, it's hypothetical.
Yeah. Imaginative
It's just
way to
exactly. We're just
look at
imagining.
the past.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Imagining. So let me give you another example. It could be, so for example, if we had left the office earlier,
yeah,
we would have arrived on time. Yeah? So if this thing did not happen,
yeah,
but we're imagining what would be the
different
outcome,
way.
a different outcome.
But can we switch like in French?
Yes.
If and
exactly
the results.
So let me give you the same sentence. So we go, if we had left earlier, we would have arrived on time.
Yeah.
Or we can switch. We would have arrived on time if we had left earlier.
Okay, that's
so yes, just
cool.
good question.
That's
We can
easy.
switch. We can switch.
Is there a negative form to the third conditional?
Mm-hmm. So, for example, yes, we could say if I, so for example, hadn't.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for example, if I hadn't, let's imagine I'm a millionaire.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I'm not a millionaire. So we can imagine. So, if I hadn't worked hard at school, I wouldn't be a millionaire today. So this is the negative
easy.
form.
So the negative form is in hadn't?
Yep.
And wouldn't, or only in hadn't?
It depends on what we're trying to say. So it could be, if I hadn't worked hard at school, I would be poor today. So it depends what we are trying to say.
Okay. Yeah. And I really don't want to ask.
I think I know what's coming next. Yeah.
But how do I form a question?
Okay. So when you want to form a question, let me just give you an example. So we could start with, say, for example, what would, where would, for example. Okay, let me give you an example, okay? What would you have studied if you hadn't studied at MBS? So you see, what would you have studied if you hadn't studied at MBS, the Montpellier Business School?
Okay. And the answer will be, if I hadn't studied at MBS, I would have studied at, engineer school.
Exactly. Do you want another question?
Yeah.
Okay. Where would you have lived if you hadn't moved to Paris?
So I said I had lived in.
No. So we follow the same formula. I would have lived.
Yeah, we switch. I would have lived in London if I hadn't lived in Paris. Okay. So
and you can switch the order.
We can switch, but it's very long answer and very long question.
Yeah.
That's
it's more technical. It's more technical, but you have the idea.
And we just add what or where.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So what would you have done? Where would you have lived, etc. in the question? If you had or if you hadn't
and we
something.
Always add the if we in the question.
It must be.
Okay.
Because if not, it is not a conditional sentence.
Let's try.
You ready?
Yeah, I think I'm ready to try the first conditional with you, but I'm a little bit scared.
Don't worry.
I know you.
Good luck. Good luck.
Ok, c'est l'heure de s'entraîner. Maintenant, on va passer à différents types de questions que les professeurs vont me poser. Short answers, long answers et ask me a question. Vous avez le temps de les faire en même temps que moi, voire beaucoup plus vite que moi, pour voir si la leçon est bien acquise ou non.
Okay, so for now, I want you to just concentrate on the question and to give me just a short answer. So familiarize yourself with the question and then give me a short response.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
The short answer will be like I had or no I.
It would be yes I would have.
Would have.
No, I wouldn't have.
Okay.
Okay. So, would you have participated in these podcasts if your English had not been good?
No, I wouldn't have. It's a middle answer.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not no, I wouldn't. It's not no, I wouldn't have.
No, I wouldn't have.
Okay.
Because with only no, I wouldn't, it's not correct.
Correct. That's exactly correct. It's not correct.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, would you have moved to London if you hadn't moved to Paris?
Yes, I would have.
Very
Definitely.
good. Would you have worked abroad if you had been refused by the Montpellier Business School?
Yes, I would have.
Very good. Would you have learnt Japanese if it was in your program at university?
Yeah, I would have.
Exactly. Okay.
Okay.
So these are the short responses. Okay. Now let's go for the long responses. Okay. The same questions. Would you have participated in these podcasts if your English hadn't been very good?
I would have participated in this podcast if my English had been very good.
So you would have?
Yeah, to challenge my English.
Okay. Would you have moved to London if you hadn't moved to Paris?
I would have moved to London if I hadn't moved to Paris.
Okay. Would you have worked abroad if you had been refused by MBS?
I hadn't.
Whoa. Would you have?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't have worked abroad if I had been refused at MBS. Wow,
so
very
good.
long.
That's really difficult. Okay. Would you have learnt Japanese if it was in your program at university?
Yeah, I would have learned Japanese if it was in my program at Montpellier Business School.
So tricky. All right. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is ask me a couple of questions.
Oh, wow.
right. So ask me what I would have done if it was raining this morning.
What would you have done
Yeah.
if it was raining this morning? Wow.
Well, that was really
So
hard.
long.
Okay, very good. Ask me where I would have gone if I weren't filming the podcast.
Where would you have gone if we weren't filming a podcast today?
You're on. This is great. Okay. Ask me where Hadja would have gone if we weren't filming the podcast.
Where would Adja have gone
Yeah.
if we wouldn't
If
film?
we
If we weren't filming a podcast today?
Very good.
I want the answer. Huh?
Okay, we'll ask Hadja afterwards. Right. Ask me where Francois would have worked if he hadn't joined Learn English.
Where would Francois have worked if he hadn't joined Learn English?
Okay, last question. Ask me what I would have done if I hadn't created Learn English.
What would you have done if you weren't? No, if you hasn't?
No. Shall I repeat the question?
Yeah.
Okay. Ask me what I would have done if I hadn't created Learn English.
Okay, what would you have done if you hadn't created Learn English?
Well done. That is
Wow,
so
it was
good.
difficult.
So, I know it probably needs a little more practice.
Yeah.
But you have the general idea?
Yeah, I understand the sentence and the
Yeah.
form,
Okay. What was the most difficult, the sentences or the questions?
the questions, because it's very long to...
Very long to answer questions, but you did very well.
Yes.
You did very well. So you asked the questions. I understood everything.
So I can use third conditional now.
You can use the third conditional now. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you,
Okay,
Marvin.
thank you, Salma.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Ça y est, la leçon est terminée. J'espère que vous aussi, vous avez appris quelque chose avec moi durant cet épisode. Vous allez pouvoir retrouver tous nos épisodes sur notre playlist Learn English. Et n'hésitez pas à nous envoyer des commentaires, des questions ou des thématiques que vous voulez aborder pour les prochains podcasts sur nos réseaux sociaux ou également sur notre site directement. Je vous rappelle qu'on a utilisé uniquement 3 stratégies orales durant cet épisode. Nous en utilisons énormément durant nos cours. N'hésitez pas à nous contacter pour en savoir plus et voire même booker votre premier cours.